All right, we are back with Blocky Music, where I have guest and guest rank song. So, guest today is Janet and Alyssa. Say hello.
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 You know, one day it won't be Janet and Alyssa. We'll get there. Um, but we're gonna be doing Pokemon trading card game, the 5 dual themes this time,
Ooh.
and Pokemon trading card game obviously still exists. Big thing now. Big thing when it came out. They made a video game version of it for the Game Boy with its own little story and their own little gyms, and it was amazing. I love the game. I can still play the game and not get bored. Like it's that good. But one of the things that made it so good was the soundtrack. Like they went hard on this soundtrack.
Mm.
Because duels last longer, the loops themselves, like the songs themselves, are a lot longer. Especially if for you, what you would consider like a Game Boy game. Usually the loops are like 30 seconds to 45 seconds. These are with the last one here being about 2.5 minutes. So they are way longer songs, but again, it's just because matches can take you 30 minutes. So if the loop is a minute long, it's gonna get old quickly.
30 minutes. My
I mean, if
God.
you suck, yes, but
Well,
it
you're playing
can.
the Pokemon card game, so
Yeah, I mean, it's a card game. I mean, think back to like when we played our card game. Like, how long would those matches take?
That's true.
This is true.
I've never played a Pokemon card game, so.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's similar.
yeah.
Cool. Well, we're gonna start. We have 5. The first one is just called Duel. This is the duel theme that plays when you fight against anyone that isn't important, like just a normal everyday guy. So here we go. I'm excited. All right, Duel. I'm gonna start this time with Alyssa.
So it's a 5.
Oh, okay.
I also had this growing up. It was my sister's technically. I never beat this game. I don't remember how far I got in this game because we had real Pokemon cards and we also tried to play with those. But this is a nice little tune. The bee boops are good. It's got it's got a lot of energy to it, even though it's not technically fast paced. I like it. Good nostalgia right there.
Cool. Um, Janet, your thoughts? Since this is, I mean, Alyssa, this isn't new to Alyssa, but this is new to
Yeah.
you.
I'm assuming that like when you're playing this game, you have to be like in like high concentration. So I think it was a nice little beat to like concentrate to, but I mean it was just like a walk through the forest. That's what I felt. I don't know if that again, I don't know if that's good or if that's bad, but I'm gonna give it like a
If it's
four.
less than a 5, throw her away.
Okay, all right. I'll just pop myself in the trash can. I'm gonna give it a four. It wasn't
Okay.
all that mighty, but it was okay.
Okay. Between 4 and 5, I'm extremely biased. I mentioned that in the beginning. I was very excited for this one. I'll put it as a 5 to start. Um, it's just good, man. Like it's definitely one of those songs that like if it's just playing in the background, like you just kind of like let it play. It doesn't get old. Especially when you're concentrating, you kind of tune stuff out and then you like come back into it. And like it's just good without being annoying. And then also the choice of
Yes.
like the choice of like instruments, I guess you can call them for this song. They're none of them are too harsh. None of them are too like in your face. They're all kind of mellow, just so that like it can kind of groove in the background while you're doing your thing. So,
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah,
also like you're playing a card game, so,
yeah.
it's not super intense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've played games where it's like it's like not high intense gameplay, but then the music is just going like I mean, look at Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
You're just
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
checking, you're just reading text boxes and in the background, they're just going off, with the music. So I'm gonna do 5. We're gonna go back to them so we can always change. But Duel. I mean, to me, that's just a classic. Like that's a
Yeah.
winner. So the second song's called Ronald's Theme. Ronald is your rival for this. So he's your blue or
Ronald.
gold or Gary or whatever you want to call him. So yeah. I don't think he's a jerk. I think he's just another guy who's like likes the game and like you just play him every once in a while. So he's not like a dick or anything. So
I
here,
don't
Ronald's theme.
remember Ronald.
All right, Alyssa, Ronald's theme.
Okay. I definitely don't remember this one. But I like it. It's a little bit more fast paced. It's a little bit, I got a little bit of anxiety like, okay, Ronald, don't fuck up my day, man. Like, uh,
God damn it, Ronald.
uh, I think the way the song evolves is really nice. Um, I wouldn't say I like it more than Duel, but I do like it a lot. Uh, Um, God, it's a it's a 4 or 5. I guess it depends on the day. I
Is
think
it
right
though?
now,
I think it depends on the Janet.
yeah, I think it's a 4. The 4. We'll give it a 4.
All right, kid, what you got?
Um, Ronald didn't stand
Oh
out to me.
no.
Um, it was like a it was just. I mean, it had more bops and beeps than the first one. So I'm gonna continue with the. I'll give it a what?
Just give it what you want, Janet.
You know, I'll give it a 4.
Okay, it'll be a 4. This one, do you see though, like the difference between Duel and why I was like, I like that it can just kind of be there and like be there, whereas Ronald's theme is a lot more in your face. So you're gonna be, even if you're tuning stuff out because you're focusing, you're gonna hear it no matter what because the instruments are a lot more like aggressive and in your face. Like the beeps are like sharper. Like with Duel, they're a lot more like mellow. The like tones that they use for Ronald's theme are like higher, so they're sharper, so they kind of cut. I don't know if that's making any sense. All right, well, that's Ronald's theme. Duel Clubmaster. These are the gym leader fights. They're called Clubmasters. They're not gyms. They're clubs. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna play it. I mean, it'll speak for itself. All right, Alyssa.
It's a good like, oh, I'm fighting a boss theme. What were you saying? Yeah. You were talking about the notes, like it overall has like a lot of low notes for it, kind of like, oh no, my shit's about to get rocked. And then the lead instrument is like you were saying, it's like very sharp. It's definitely like it's setting the tone for what you're about to get into. I do remember this one. Definitely a 4 or 5. If it's a 4, it's a high 4. If it's not a 5, I don't make the calls though, or the final ones.
No, the final call goes to Janet. What are we thinking?
This one actually sounded like a Pokemon song, so because of that, I really liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking up Togepi plushies because I really want one. And it just went well with this as background music. It felt Pokemon-ish. I don't know why, but it did, and because of that, I will
This reminds
actually
me
give it a 5.
Togepi
A 5. Above Duel, below Duel.
below.
I mean, Duel was whatever, so I would say above.
Okay. We will come back to that. I know I have bias, so I won't say yet. But cool. We're moving on to the next one. Imakuni's theme. This is the weirdest thing in the whole game. So in the game, there's this guy dressed up in like a kind of a bear onesie kind of thing. It's really weird. It's all black, and it's just this like old Asian guy in a suit, in like a jumpsuit. And he shows up randomly, and sometimes he'll fight you. Sometimes he will just give you items. And there he has his own card. I don't know what he's supposed to be, or if he's like a real person that they like put in the game or whatever. But he's just really weird. And like when you fight him, sometimes he'll like on purpose like make himself lose by using the wrong cards. It's a super bizarre, like it's the weirdest like thing. Like I'm like I don't know who came up with this and why it's here. It's just there. Like he just exists. So all that being said, this is his theme. All right, Alyssa.
So, I've never run into him. I want to hate this song more than I do. It's like, it's weird. It's not something you'd probably normally want to listen to, right? But for what it is, it works well for for the character. I want to give it a 3 just because of the character. I would probably normally like give it a 2 or something like that. I think the melody's fine. Again, I think for what it's made for, it worked. So 3.
Okay, and then Janet.
I'm gonna give this one a 4. I don't know why, but I liked it.
Okay. Well, I guess
It's weird.
We'll split it at a 4, and put it at the bottom of the 4s. That's not in question. But yeah, it's definitely a weird theme. But I think like Alyssa's saying, it's like it's weird, but like it knows it's weird and it's trying to be weird, and it pulls it off successfully. And I think that's why like the song is one of those like because it also makes you a little uneasy. Like I remember when I was a kid, like playing this game and then like going up against him. Like I would try to avoid, like if I saw him in the lobby, I would like go around and go somewhere else, just because I remember the music just giving me like this like weird vibe. And then also the character's not like evil or anything. He just kind of shows up and he's just like, I just want to play. But I was like, there's something's up with this guy. But yeah, that's Imakuni's theme. And the last song is Dual Grandmaster. Grandmasters are the Elite Four of the trading card game. They each have a legendary card. Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, and then I believe the last one has a Dragonite. But yeah, here we go. Dual Grandmaster.
Oh.
I wish more of the song was like this.
Okay, Alyssa.
Want to like this song a lot more. The build it takes way too long to build up, honestly. Because once you get to that to kind of like the the second half of just that whole section, uh it's it actually kind of feels intimidating. It has a good pace to it. Um it's too slow. It's just kind of like you're waiting for it to pick up. Whereas I think something like the Dual Clubmaster, it's intimidating and it keeps like a steady pace the whole time and it's just like it's constant. I just think the build up is too long on this. It's great once it actually picks up, but which makes it hard to rate because uh I want to give it a 4 because the second half is good, but I kind of want to put it at a 3 because the first half is as good.
Oh,
So Janet, make a
jeez.
choice.
Janet, bring
I
us to
mean,
the
I
promised land.
agree. The very beginning of it was pretty slow, but it wasn't too bad. And then it was okay, and I liked that it switched, um, which makes it 4 worthy. So just
Mhm.
because it's there, depending on how good or bad you are at the game, you'll hear it more. So I think it's a 4.
Okay. I mean, I see both sides to it, and I think it works in its favor and against it.
Mhm.
Couple things. One, yeah, I think the intro is a little long. I do like when it hits like the part when it does like the final build up to where it like changes up. I think that part always like hits for me
Yeah.
because the build up is so long. You're just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever, and then it just comes in, and then you realize like, oh shit, I'm fighting the Grandmaster. Um, so I think it does a really good job. Personally, yeah, I think the build up's a little long, but like in the context of everything, like I think it's just like a really really good song. Um, and then what did you say, Janet? You said something. I just had it. I had it. I
Depending
was
on
gonna.
how long you play it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is just like kind of like Alyssa like was like, oh, I never, I never beat the game. I never got that far. Like with these guys, like you hear this song 4 times in a row, 4 duels in a row, because like you fight one and then you immediately fight the other one, and you meet, and there's like no breaks. So it's just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, like over and over and over, and like it's the only time you hear the song. Like if you want to, like if you're like, oh, I just want to play the song and beat the thing, like you can't just fight one of them and leave. Like you have to go through the whole thing or lose. So I think like the fact that it's like saved just for that occasion, and then like the way it builds up and everything, like I think it's really really well done. In the terms of this the song by itself, I do wish the intro was a little bit shorter. Um, but I think it's like a two, it's like a double edged sword where it's like if it's too short, then that middle part doesn't hit as hard. But if it's too long, then you're just kind of like ugh, like waiting for the other part. So
Yeah.
I'm torn between it. I will say personally, if we were gonna like where we're gonna put these with the fours,
Yeah.
I think. Well, I'm gonna let you guys, and then I'll say what I think of where it should go. But I think 4 is fine. But where should it go, Alyssa?
Ooh. Um Hmm. I hmm. I would say probably under Dual Club Master.
Top of the Force.
Yeah.
Janet?
I would say also the top of the force.
Okay. I was hoping you guys were going to say that because that's what I was going to say.
Like,
Well, no, just because like Ronald's theme, it's like it's clearly like you're fighting someone, but it's like it's important, but like not super important. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a friendly rivalry almost. The other one's just weird, and then but it doesn't like
We
hit.
appreciate the weird.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit like the other two do.
Yeah.
So now we have to put these in order. You guys had different opinions. I have an extreme opinion of where it should go. So we're just gonna play parts of each, and then we're gonna just okay. And if there's a specific part you want to hear, let me know. Okay, Alyssa.
Mm. See, they're both fives. They're both good. Um, I would probably keep Duel at the top just because it's easier to listen to. I think like it's just easier to have in the background at any point. Like you can just pop that on, you know, and it's fine. Not that I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I wouldn't not pop Dual Club Master on, but that one has a little bit more, anxiety to it, just more like a oh shit factor to it. So I would personally leave them there if I'm like, I'm just gonna pop these on. I think if you're talking about like overall gaming song, like Duel Master is the better battle song. Yeah. So,
Okay, shit, Janet.
I felt like the second one had more of like a negative sounding sound. The other one, like the dual one, sounded very happy and upbeat in a way, and I like that more. But I guess yeah, I just keep it. I mean, to me is potato, like whatever.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's that. I like Clubmaster the most. It's my favorite track out of the whole thing. But I agree. Duel's easier to listen to. It's more lighthearted. It's more just kind of like there. And then Clubmaster definitely has more of like a it's a little bit more serious. It's a little bit more high stakes kind of thing. But yeah, yeah. No, I mean this game does not have a lot of tracks. But they are pretty solid. That being said, I'm going to start with Alyssa. What is the ranking for the album as a whole?
for the album, as a whole, it can have an 8, I think. Like an 8 or a 7.5. Like it does what it needs to do. It's good. Like even the fucking Emo Kuni song, like you know, these songs all have a purpose. They are composed well. Yeah, I like
All right.
giving.
All right. All right. Yes, I agree. Janet, what do you? So you said 7.5/8, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Janet.
Hmm. I was,
Looking at a Togepi plushie.
I mean, kind of. No, I was neither overwhelmed or underwhelmed. I was just, as they say,
Well,
um, I'm gonna give it a 6. It was just kind of there. Nothing stood out to me really. Like all the songs, none of them were like, "Oh my god, this is cool." No, because one of them that I thought was cool, took forever to get to that part. So I'm just like, you're whatever.
Okay. I mean, like that's fair. Again, these ones are like they're it's kind of like the Phoenix Wright ones where they're there, but they're not there to distract you from what's going on. You know, they're not supposed to be the main focus. Like in a lot of action games, obviously the music's driving everything. It drives the action. It kind of creates the scene, the mood, or whatever. These ones, like the Phoenix Wright ones, are a lot more just kind of like they're just there to remind you what's going on, but they're not there to like take over or like be the front and center. So I get it. Like obviously these are not as like you know, like, oh, this is a catchy tune, I'm gonna be humming this all day. Like some of the like when we look at like games like Mega Man, right, where the loops are 30 seconds long and they have to get stuck in your head. These ones are all. I mean, the longest loop was what, like 2.5 minutes, almost, like, yeah, like 2:45. Which compared again, like I was saying earlier, like compared to a lot of the other stuff, especially on the Game Boy, like that's really long. Like all these are really long. But yeah, I mean, I see both sides. I love this soundtrack. But again, like, you know, that's the whole point. It's just like, it's not about me. It's about the people. And what do the people know? They don't know anything.
what?
So yeah, all right. Well, that's it for Pokemon TCG Duels. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.